Welcome back to week 4 of half Ironman training. I apologize for just like a blank wall behind me. It's a new house. We're still trying to get decorations and stuff set up. So it's just going to be kind of boring for the intro. But this week, once again, we were traveling quite a bit this week. Out of town for work. Just like last week, I was out of town for Thanksgiving. Next week, I'm going to be out of town for work again. So it's going to be a common theme throughout this entire training program of me being out of town and kind of fighting to find time to get in the bikes and the swims because it's hard to travel with the bike. And it's hard, and you can't, find a pool everywhere you go. So I think that's something that's a little bit different between this page to like a lot of the other motivational, workout, lift, cardio, exercise pages out there. A lot of those pages are very gung-ho. You're going to lift before anything else, and you're going to get 6 hours of cardio in a day. And if you want to be fast in the Ironman, you need to get 20 hours a week, and it's a part-time job and whatever else. That's not what this is. This is more... if you want to follow along and if you do the exact same training program I do and you do the exact same workouts I do, you will finish the half Ironman. You will get through the race, right? It's not going to be like, you're not going to win. You're not going to be the fastest guy out there, But this is more like fitting the workouts in when you can. If you want to do a half Ironman and kind of train for half Ironman without it being your entire life and keep your same schedule with your job and, be able to hang out with the wife and kids and everything else. If you want to do all that stuff while still finding time to train for a triathlon, that's kind of more what this is. A little bit more laid back, not so, gung-ho, you're going to lift before everything else, David Goggins type stuff. This is more a kind of normal everyday life training for a triathlon, right? So the whole trying to get as many workouts in as we can and everything like that, that's going to be a common theme throughout this because my job is very, very busy. I do travel a lot for my work. I'm out of town, 3 or 4 days most weeks. And so it does make it tough to get bikes and swims and everything else in. So it's a little bit of a different vibe, a little bit more of a laid back vibe, but it's, I think this is a little bit more realistic for most people out there. All that being said, let's go ahead and jump to the calendar. I'm not going to take forever with this intro. We'll jump to the calendar and talk about what the week was exactly. Monday ended up being a 0 day. I'll explain all that here in just a second. Tuesday, we had a bike. Wednesday, we had a run. Thursday, we had a lift, went up to the gym and hit a push day. Friday was another 0 day. Not great to have 2 0 days in the week, but nothing on Friday. Saturday was a 30-mile bike and a 5-mile run. And finally, Sunday, we got in our swim, which was somewhere around 1,000 yards. So that's what the week looked like. Let's just go ahead and jump right into it with the Tuesday bike. And I can explain everything about Monday and why I missed the Monday workout, So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Here's the Tuesday bike. All right, Tuesday, December 2nd, we have an hour-long bike on the Peloton. Now, I know what you're I know what you're thinking right now, okay? You're like, Cullen, you just gave me this big, long speech about how you're gonna do 2 workouts and everything per week, and this is the week you're gonna get better workouts in and everything else, and it's Tuesday? And there's no video from Monday? You don't even work out on Monday? Like, that's crazy, dude. It is crazy. It is fucking crazy. Let me tell you why it's crazy. I'm out of town right now, right? I am in Wisconsin for work. Yesterday, I flew out, what was it, 9:30, 10, something like that. So I left the house, I don't know, 8-ish, a little bit before. Get to Wisconsin, 2, 3 in the afternoon. My bag wasn't here. So I went all day yesterday and all morning today in jeans, a t-shirt, and my hoodie. And so any opportunity to work out yesterday just went right out the fucking window, dude. Just right out the window. I thought about coming down here and just getting a lift in or going to Planet Fitness or something and getting a lift in my jeans. I just didn't have it in me. And that's a terrible, terrible thing to say, but I heavily used that excuse of not having clothes to my advantage. I mean, my advantage or disadvantage, the way you want to look at it. But I completely used that and said, hey, I'm not going to the gym today because I don't have clothes. I could have come down here in jeans and hit a chest workout or something like that. I could have done it. I could have gotten it in. I used that excuse and I didn't get a workout in yesterday. Now, right now, it is 10 o'clock at night. And this is the first opportunity I've had to hit the gym today outside of if I wanted to get up at 9, 8, or 5 a.m. and get a bike in at 5 in the morning. And I didn't want to do that. So I've been, in meetings all day, took some customers to dinner, had a good time. had a beer at dinner, enjoyed myself today, but I have to get the bike in tonight or else it's really gonna throw my week off. Starting off 0 for 2 on a week is not a good way to start off. So we're just gonna make sure that we don't do that, right? Now I'll tell you what, this Peloton, I'm doing a class right now. Golly, the cadence is so fast. It tells you the cadence you're supposed to be at and the resistance. It's really not bad, it's really pretty nice. I'm not mad about it one bit actually. Obviously it's not the bike outside, you know what I mean? Like but nothing's like the real bike outside, you know? You're not gonna replace that. Same thing with the run. The treadmill's never gonna be as good as a run outside. You know, it's just never gonna be the same. But it's gonna get my heart rate up. I picked one of the harder classes, so it won't be an hour wasted, you know? It'll be a good solid hard hour. And I'll make sure that it is tough and I don't waste this hour. Now, the other thing that I do want to do this week, I need to start hitting the gym more. I haven't consistently been in the gym lately. It sucks, but I think the last 2 weeks I've had one lift both of those weeks. And so I'm gonna start making more of an effort to get back in the gym because I don't like it. I don't like not being in the gym. I don't like not lifting. It just sucks. I don't even like talking about it. I don't even like talking about not lifting. Just talking about how little I've been in the gym lately, like I have a physical reaction to it. You know what I mean? It hurts me. It seriously hurts me. But I think while I'm training for this Ironman, I think that's a lot of what it's gonna be, is I'm not gonna be in the gym as much, you know, and however much it sucks to say, that's what it's gonna be. I am 9 minutes into my hour-long ride. It is currently 10:05 right now. So I should be done just before 11. And I really thought about not coming down here, I did. But like I said, starting off 0 for 2 on the week is not a good way to start. And let's be honest, I wasn't gonna be asleep by 11 anyways. You know what I mean? I was not gonna be asleep by 11 o'clock. May as well come down here and get some work done, you know? All right, all that being said, I'm gonna have to let you guys go because the resistance is about to spike. We're about to hit the first interval of this ride. Whew. And I don't even think I'll take another video because it'll just be this again, you know what I mean? You see what this is, you see what I'm doing, you know? Believe that I did an hour. Do I have to prove to you that I did an hour? Oh, that's the other thing. I'm not sure how to connect my Garmin to the thing. It says it's an option. I couldn't figure out how to do it. I didn't really fight it for very long. And yeah, so I'm just gonna manually input into my watch how long I went, how far it says I went. Like my average speed right now is 18 miles per hour. So we're just gonna stick with that. I'll trust that the Peloton semi knows what it's talking about, and that's what we're gonna be putting in the spreadsheet and in the YouTube video. So I will see you guys tomorrow, maybe at 5 a.m., maybe at 10 o'clock at night again for a run. On the treadmill. Sucks. Wednesday, December 3rd. I thought I was gonna get in here in the morning. Didn't happen. I stayed up way too late trying to edit videos and edit TikToks. I'm trying to be better about posting every day, so I went ahead and made like 8 of them last night just so I make sure I have one every single day. So I didn't wake up at 5 a.m. this morning and go for a run. Now, luckily for me, we got done early enough to where I can get a run in before dinner. Running after dinner is brutal. You know what I mean? After dinner, it's like I eat, I just want to go to bed. You know what I mean? And unless I can wait until like 10 o'clock to run or bike like I did last night, I'm not gonna do it. Like I'm just full, it's not happening. You know what I mean? So I'm really, really glad we had enough time in between work and dinner with the customers to sit here and get a workout in or get a quick run in. That being said, it's gonna be a quick run, just 3 miles, nothing crazy. The last run I did, I tried to do 8 and I accidentally did 9 1/4, so I'm not gonna do that again. And after that, I'm okay with just doing 3 miles, you know what I mean? Speaking of, I just hit 0.1, so it's time to start jogging. We'll keep talking here. And how we're gonna do this run is I'll run at an 8:30 pace until I hit 1 mile, then I'll walk for 1/10 of a mile, run at 8:30 for the rest of that mile, walk for 1/10, run at an 8:30 pace for the rest of that mile. So nothing too insane, really just getting my legs moving, getting the heart rate up, getting some cardio in today. Nothing out of the box. Not really much to even talk about today. But this is kind of that maintenance run that you want throughout the week before you go do your big day on Saturday or Sunday, whatever day works best for you. I just look at it as keeping your legs moving, keeping yourself warm, making it so that when you go out for the big day on the weekend, it's not the first time you've run in 7 days. You know what I mean? It keeps you in it. It keeps you active. And yeah, that's really it. So now with all that being said, the maintenance days will go up with the weekend days, if that makes sense. As of right now, we're still early on, so my maintenance days are still relatively short. But as my weekend days get closer and closer to 10 miles, 12 miles, half marathon, my maintenance days will start getting up towards 5-6 miles during the week. I think 6 miles will probably be the longest maintenance run I'll do towards the end of the workout plan. Take that off for now. But right now, it's nice to just kind of go out and enjoy 3 miles. All right, I'm not gonna hold you here forever. Watching somebody run on a treadmill is probably more boring than just being on a treadmill. And I don't want to bore you guys to death, so we are better today than we were yesterday. We'll be better tomorrow than we are today, and we will see you for tomorrow's workout. Saturday, December 6th. Today we have a 30-mile ride, and then hopefully like a 5-mile run right after. We might be in a time crunch, unfortunately, but we'll see. It's currently 7:50, almost 8 in the morning. So I'm gonna hold you to make sure you don't fall real quick while you go up this hill. Real quick, let's talk about the last couple days, because I didn't video the last couple days. Last video was taken on Wednesday. Thursday, I hit the gym and I got a quick push day in. I forgot my camera when I went to the gym, so I did not video the Thursday lift. Friday, I didn't do anything. Friday, I took a rest day. So here's the goal for today, okay? The goal for today is to get the second ride and the second run in. And then I'll have my 2 rides and my 2 runs, and that's the goal for every week, is 2 of everything, right? And then I'll get 1 swim. Unfortunately, we'll be lacking on the swims a little bit, but I'll get a swim and then hopefully hit the gym tomorrow. And so then that'll kind of round it out a little bit. Instead of a second swim, I'll have 2 lifts in the week, which is something. I mean, with a week where I'm traveling like this week, I really should have gotten in 2 of everything. I mean, look, I took the day off on Monday because my clothes didn't get there and I didn't want to work out in jeans. That's kind of the acceptable day off. I should have gotten a swim in somehow, some way yesterday. I was back home, I wasn't traveling. Yesterday was an unfortunate off day. But beyond that, I mean, you know, I got my 2 rides. Well, I'll get my 2 rides, I'll get my 2 runs, I'll get 2 lifts. You know, already there's 6 workouts. The swim will make it 7. That's a little bit better, that's a little bit more acceptable. Next week I'll be traveling once again. And God, it just makes it so tough when you're on the road, dude. Without a bike, you can't swim anywhere like that. It just kills the bikes and swims being on the road. Running you can do anywhere. That's the best thing about running, is no matter where I'm at, I can get a run in, whether it's on a treadmill or, you know, you start running down the road and you figure it out as you go. Like it's easy to get a run in. Yeah, so the travel makes it tough, because I will be once again I'll be in Georgia next week. Plane flight on Tuesday, plane flight on Monday, you know, I'm sorry. Plane flight on Tuesday, plane flight on Friday next week. So those days will be the crux of next week, will be Monday or Tuesday and Friday. All right, let's talk about today's ride a little bit more. I looked it up online. There's group rides at this bike mart that's like 15 minutes away from me. So I'm driving down there right now. I couldn't find where it said the distances when I was looking last night, but I know for a fact there's a 40-mile ride and there's a 30-mile ride. I'm looking for the 30-mile ride. But let's say 8 o'clock is a 30-mile ride. Done with that by, after a couple breaks and everyone likes to chat and everything else, 11, hopefully. Say back home by 11:30. 3 hours total, just in terms of getting our bikes up and getting everything back in the car, and 3 hours total. That's probably right. Get back to the house by 11. Yeah, I'll have time for a run. Even if I don't get back to the house until noon, I'll have time for a run. Because I have a dance lesson today, which is crazy, I know, but I'm getting married in January. I want to look good dancing. like to the first dance with my first dance with Macy and the dance with my mom, the mother-son dance. And my mom's coming down, so we're going to get lessons real quick, just to make sure that we look good and we don't just like look ridiculous and sit out there and sway the whole time, you know? So either way, I should have time for a run. And I'll see if Macy wants to get a couple miles in with me, actually. That will be fun. That will be a good time. So yeah, and days like today, I love days like Saturday is, unless I'm out of town on a Saturday, like, you know, last week I was out of town for Thanksgiving, so Saturday was a nothing day. But if I'm in town, Saturdays will be big days. Because this is when the group rides are. This is when I can get big runs in. This is when I have time. You know, we're not working. I'm not on the road. Like, the weekends have to be big days for me because my weeks are so messed up all the time, you know? All right, that's enough yapping for me. We will see you guys probably halfway through the ride. I'll take a video at some point, get a video of the group. You know, I don't know any of these people, so I'll probably drop back and take a video real quick at some point. Let's go get it done. All right, bike. Do I look crooked? Oh, there it goes. Bike has been finished up.
I'm ready. Oh, wait, no, I'm not.
Oh, okay, we're not ready. Bike has been finished up. We're going for a quick 5-mile run. Macy's gonna hang with us for the first couple, and then we're gonna go on by ourselves. Bike, all in all, was pretty solid. I didn't have gloves, and it was 40 degrees this morning, so the hands got pretty chilly, for sure. But other than that, the pace was really solid. We only took one break, so it didn't take overly long. I was back here by 10:45. You know what I mean? It's just after 11 right now. We're going to get a run in. And this is exactly what we needed today. A 30-mile bike and a 5-mile run, 35 miles on the day. That's huge. I say that the bike wasn't quite 30 miles. It ended at like 27. But close enough, dude. You know what I mean? They call it a 30-mile bike. I will too. Macy's GPS doesn't know how to connect to the satellites. So I have to sit here for 20 minutes. God. All right, we'll see you guys probably halfway through the run. A little over halfway. When I'm running, I'm holding just a sub 9-minute mile pace. I'm sitting somewhere around 8:40 to 8:45. And then I'm taking one walk break per mile. And it should average out to be somewhere around 10-minute miles, which, or it's almost mile 3 now, which this is looking very, very far ahead, but it's good to keep this in mind. During race day, I'm hoping for sub 10-minute miles. That's the goal after the bike. It may not sound like a lot, but I've never been that fast before, you know? So I'm hoping for 9:45-minute miles on race day. And if we can just do this exactly, we run an 8:45-minute mile while we're running and take one walk break per mile, that's winning. That's exactly what I want to see today. That's exactly what I want to see on race day. So hopefully I don't hit a wall in the last 2 miles on the way home. And we'll be good to go, baby. All right, we'll see you guys at the end of this thing. All right, we're just about to finish up the run. And by the end of it, I will most definitely be averaging under 10-minute miles. So that is an absolute win on the day. To start off the day with 35 miles, and now get to sit down and watch some college football. You know, probably go grab a beer this afternoon. That beer is gonna taste real good. I don't think there's a beer that tastes as good as a beer after, you know, 35 miles for sure, but talk about 70. Think about how that beer tastes. Yeah, let's see here, hold on, I just finished. Overall pace was 9:43. It's exactly what I wanna do on race day. All right, I'm gonna go inside and get me a big old glass of water. We are better today than we were yesterday. We'll be better tomorrow than we are today. And hopefully we see you tomorrow for a swim. It's gonna be a cold ass swim if we go outdoors for it, but I think that's what we're gonna have to do. Good shit, team. All right, really quickly, let's take a look at our bike and run from today. First of all, it was 27 miles, not 30. So it's a little disappointing. I rode with a 30-mile group. That's, you know, how they advertise it. It's actually 27, so pretty close to 30, not quite. The 20-mile group I usually ride with usually does 21 miles. So it's
really a 6 mile difference instead of a 10 mile difference. So all of a sudden, it's not feeling like as big a jump as I had hoped. But regardless, we're going to ride with this 30 mile group for the next couple weeks, get 30 miles down, really feel comfortable with 30 miles until we bump up to the 40 mile group here in probably about a month. Maybe not even, maybe 2-3 weeks. You can see the speed was 14.8 miles per hour. That's all said and done. That includes the stops and everything else. We'll take a look here in a second, and we'll take a look at what pace we were actually riding at while we were riding. Last but not least, 492 feet of elevation gain. Excuse me. This is almost nothing. I mean, at 492 feet over the course of 27 miles, if if I look at an Ironman route and it says less than 1,000 feet of elevation gain over the course of 56 miles, which is about what this would be. This would be about 1,000 feet over the course of 56 if you extrapolated it out. I would be stoked to see less than 1,000 feet of elevation gain. Like, that's almost nothing. It's about as flat as you can get over the course of 56 miles. So, not much elevation gain whatsoever. Now, that being said, the Ironman that we're going to be running is in Little Elm, and so it's right here. It's going to be very, very similar to the elevation gain we saw today will be race day. So, practice for what you're going to do, right? Now, really quickly, let's take a look at the speed. This is the one I'm interested in, so we'll blow it up real quickly. You can see all the stops that we hit. The beginning of the ride was really nice, where it was kind of, we were able to go, hold this kind of 18, 17 mile per hour pace consistently. You see it drop down to 15 a few times around turns. And then we just hit this spot, about 11, 12 miles in, where it was just stoplight, 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 stoplight. So we're having to stop over and over and over again. But when we're riding, the pace while we're riding is usually hovering around 17. Obviously in here there's a lot of turns and kind of riding through neighborhoods and stuff. And we really sped up, got up above 20 for a little bit. But while we're riding, we're kind of averaging close to 17, 18, right around in there. So the riding pace I'm actually really happy with. The overall pace being under 15 is a little misleading, I think. All right, now let's go ahead and move on to the run really quickly. 5-mile run. 5 miles, 48:35, 9:43 minutes per mile. This is perfect. This is awesome. This is exactly what I wanted to see. It's exactly what I want to do on race day. I was stoked to be able to do it for 5 miles after a 30-mile bike. And so this exact run on my big days on the weekends, I'm going to try and do this every single week as the miles get bigger and bigger. So next weekend, I'll do a 30-mile bike or 27-mile bike, and then probably a 6-mile run. I'll try and keep this 9:43 for that 6 miles. And then we'll do the same thing, but a 7-mile run, 9:45 for the 7 miles. And so I'll try and keep this pace and hold this pace every single big run on the weekends as the miles get bigger and bigger. And so that means during the week, I will have to do some kind of speed training during the week to make sure I can hold this pace for longer distances. Anyways, let's get to the speed. Now, you can see here, the first mile was kind of a warm-up mile, get your legs off the bike and into the run type of mile. So we sat around 9-minute mile almost the entire time. And then we took a walk break about halfway through. Once I hit this 1 mile mark, this is kind of when I said, all right, we're going to take 1 walk break per mile every mile. Mile 2 looks really funky. I'll explain that in a second. But this whole second mile, I ran about 8:35, 8:20, all the way up to almost 9-minute miles, 8:49. Just kept it right under 9-minute miles for the entire time, right? Just right under, just sat right there. It's a comfortable pace for me. And then I had a walk break. Where is this? 2.2 miles in, right? And there's my walk break. And then this was the turnaround point right here. And so that's why I kind of hit a walk break right there. And then I chatted with some people for like 2 seconds right here. So I slowed down a couple times here. But this entire mile was also mainly running the entire time as well. Same thing. Just kept it right under 9-minute miles the entire time. And then, that is consistent all the way through for the rest of the run. I took 1 walk break every mile. So you can see here's my 1 walk break for mile 5, my 1 walk break for mile 4, 1 walk break for mile 3. And then this was technically my 1 walk break for mile 2. Yeah, it did take place in mile 2. So that is going to be the exact structure that I hold on to for my runs from here on out. And this holding it just under 9-minute miles felt really, really positive. It felt great. So that's going to be what we stick with from here on out. All right, I've been yapping for way too long now. We're going to go ahead and let you guys go. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for the swim. All right, Sunday, December 7th, final day of the week. And we got the swim. Like I said, I told you we were gonna get the swim in today. It's pretty cold right now. I've specifically waited until the warmest part of the day to come out here. So right now it's 2 in the afternoon and it's 52 degrees outside. So it's pretty fucking chilly is what it is. So, golly, dude, I gotta try and get this on as fast as I can or else I'm gonna freeze. The sun's just now starting to come out, which is huge because it's been overcast all day. If the sun comes out a little bit, that could make a really big difference. So, sun's coming out. Water temperature is still gonna be freezing no matter what. It's been really cold the last couple weeks, or week, I guess. It's been really chilly here, and that heavily affects the water temp. So, this will be the coldest swim we've done, and we'll see how well the wetsuit holds up. Last time I felt really good outside of, sorry, excuse me. And last time I felt really good, other than my hands and my face, you know what I mean? Everything else felt solid. So hopefully that's all it is this time. And I'm able to just kind of power through it and just not think about the feet or head too much. I'm not gonna take you guys with me. Oh, here we go again with this zipper, dude. I need to start coming with somebody because this zipper's impossible. What's the correct way to do this? This can't be right, you know what I mean? Oh, yes, I got it, fuck yeah. Come on, baby, get up. Go, got it, yes. Oh, dang it. All right, last time, I started chafing on the back of my neck a little bit, so I need to try and adjust. All right, that feels better actually. That feels really good. All right, so, sorry, I keep getting distracted. So, yeah, we're kind of gonna do that same loop we did last time. The wind's blowing pretty good. I might bring you guys down there just so you can see what the water looks like right now, because this is gonna be the coldest, roughest swim I have done yet. It's gonna be rough. All right, I'm gonna walk you down there real quick so you can get a look at the water and what we're actually gonna be swimming in. But after that, I'm not gonna take you with me today, just because it's so cold out. That's not something I wanna have to be fighting today. You know what I mean? I just wanna worry about swimming, getting done as fast as I possibly can, and then getting back to the car and not freezing my toes off in the process. So right now, they are freezing. It's chilly. I'm sure it doesn't look that cold on camera, because it's sunny and it probably looks like it's a nice 70-degree day. It's not, dude. It's fucking cold. It's fucking cold is what it is. Oh, excuse the hair, dude. The wind's just making this crazy right now. I'm gonna get in the water and hopefully fix up my hair a little bit, because this is just all over the place and can't stay down because that wind's too much. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at the water real quick. Just walking you down here so you can see before we get started. I don't know how well you can see or not. Can you guys see the water at all? The screen's too small to tell. But I don't know if you can tell, but I mean, as far as swims go, it's not brutal. There's no white caps or anything like that, but you can see there are waves, and it's just enough when you're swimming out there. You're not lifting your mouth very far above the water surface to get a breath, and so it is just enough to make it, you know, they're gonna get a mouthful of water every now and again instead of air, and so that does make it a little bit tougher. Obviously, the current, the wind's blowing the water all the way back into that cove back there, so swimming out is gonna be the worst part. Honestly, the whole way out, I'm gonna come out right here, come all the way around those buoys to the other side, and that's just directly into the wind. That's gonna be a slow first half, but luckily for us, the second half will be flying. Whew, that wind's blowing so hard, it's making my eyes water. Yeah, so the second half will be moving quickly at least, so that's good. You'd rather that than swim out and have to swim back into the wind, and it just makes for a brutal second half. You know, I used to work at there's a campground slash surf rental place, and we would rent out paddle boards for people, and they would paddleboard right off, you know, right onto the water, right where we would rent stuff out. And on very windy days, we would tell them paddle against the wind first, because if you paddle with the wind, all of a sudden 10 minutes in, you're 2 miles down shore and you don't know how to get back because you can't paddle in the wind that hard. You know what I mean? Like, the 10 minutes down there, it's gonna take you 2 hours to get back. And the amount of times I had to drive down and go get somebody because they got stuck downwind was a lot. So this is, I like that this is kind of following that same, it's kind of following that, that same thinking where it's like, I'll go out into the wind and then come back with it. Because that would suck real bad to go out
and turn around and come back, and that wind is blowing so hard that I can't get back. You know what I mean? That would really suck. Then I have to, God, be a long walk all the way around to the road over there, and everything else that would suck. So this is a good setup for what it is. All right, let's go get this done. I am procrastinating. It's 2:30 now. I want to be out of here by 3, you know, so let's go get it done. We will see you guys after the swim. All right, if I'm being honest, that I won't do that again. That was cold. Yeah, that was not it. God damn it. I can't even feel my hands, dude. Oh my God, damn it, I gotta take this off. Let me get a towel. I apologize. I know it sounds like I'm being a little bitch right now. I kind of am, but that was too cold. It was too cold. Anything under 60 water temp, I will not swim again, I don't think, with this wetsuit. You know, if I'm gonna do it again, I'm gonna need a wetsuit that's a little bit, whoo, fuck me, that's a little bit more suited for the cold, or something with a hood. Maybe if I got a hood, maybe that would help me out, because my ears are done, you know what I mean? Oh my God. So that'll be the last time I do that. Yeah, from here on out, if I want to get a swim in and the water temp is 52, I'll find a pool. That sucked so bad, so bad. Sorry, let's talk about the swim itself. I came out, golly, into the wind that way, and couldn't even make it all the way to the other side. So I got about 20 minutes in the water, and I was making slow progress, but it got to the point where my hands just like felt like they're getting hypothermia, dude. They're getting so cold that finally I was just like, fuck it, I can't do it. I can't get over there. Maybe if I have some gloves or a hood or something next time, because that was just so brutal. God, I hate that I'm coming back almost into feet, you know what I mean? Because it was probably technically a 1,000-yard swim is technically what I did. But I swam for way longer than that, you know what I mean? So I apologize, guys. I feel like when I turned around, I was like, there's no shame in turning around right now. That's how cold I am. And now I'm back here wishing that I just finished it out. You know, I was close over there. And then, yeah, just couldn't. It was so cold. So this is probably the biggest defeat we've taken on a workout so far. You know, still got a 20-minute swim, so it wasn't all for nothing, you know. It's not like I came out here and just decided not to go. It's better than that, at least. But still, it is cold as hell. Yeah, so that sucked. Hopefully, oh my God. Hopefully, it's not that cold on race day, because that is brutal. Absolutely brutal. I could feel, I got in, you know when you get jumping in cold water and you go, and it takes your breath away? That's what happened. I know it sounds like I'm bitching so hard right now, and I apologize. This probably looks terrible. Oh, it's supposed to be like a badass you can do it page, but that was freezing cold. And yeah, so I ended up only getting probably about 1,000. Usually this is 1250 swim. Maybe not even, maybe a little bit under 1,000. But I swam for a hard 20 minutes, and before my hands and ears and face and feet just felt like they're gonna fall off, and I had to call it. Ain't nothing like turning around halfway through a workout. That's a terrible look. If I didn't want to be completely honest with you guys and just keep this page 100% real, I wouldn't include this in the video. But you know, I want you guys to see what it actually is. And today was not it. Today was not the day. I'm sitting here just thinking what I can do better next time. First of all, go to an indoor pool somewhere and don't come outside to swim. Second of all, bring gloves and a cap so that my hands are still usable during the swim. I biked yesterday without gloves in 40-degree weather, and this was worse than that for sure. Like, not even close. We'll do the outro right now just because, you know, this is the last workout of the week, obviously. Finished the week with 2 bikes, 2 runs, 1 swim, and 1 lift. So only 6 workouts. Again, I need better weeks, man. I need better weeks. And I think one of the bigger things is getting back into the gym. I think the gym, obviously, not only do I want to keep muscle and retain muscle while I'm doing all this cardio training, but
I think it also helps on the bike and the run and the swim for sure. You know, if you're very, very strong, just muscle mass wise, upper body, that's huge in the swim. Same thing with the legs. If your legs are very, very strong, that's going to help you in the bike, you know? So I need to get back in the gym a little bit more, a little bit better than last week. We got 6 workouts instead of 5. Still not the week that we want to see. You know, I need 6 cardio workouts plus hopefully 3 lifts and 3 gym workouts, you know? So the goal is 9. 6 is not quite cutting it. But next week we're gonna try a little bit harder. We're gonna do a little bit better. And before you know it, we are gonna be crushing this thing. All right, appreciate you guys watching. Oh, we are better today than we were yesterday. We'll be better tomorrow than we are today. Good shit, team.